Hearing resumed. Yes, Congressman Defensor.
Mr. Chairman, I move to dispense with the reading and approval of the minutes dated June 8 and June 11, 2020. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Second the motion.
There's a motion, duly seconded. Hearing no objections, motion is carried.
Good afternoon. We are on our 7th joint meeting with the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability. Again, andito po rin po ako sa Zoom at habang aking co-chair naman ay nasa session hall. Sa bahagi po ng Committee on Legislative Franchises, binabati ko po ang lahat ng members at authors na kasama natin sa plenaryo at sa Zoom. Gayon din po ang mga House members na nakikiisa sa ating pagpupulong. Hindi na po natin isa-isahin lahat ng members, pero atin na pong i-record ang attendance ng lahat ng dumalo sa araw na ito. Comsec, paki-recognize po ang ating mga bisita at resource persons.
Good afternoon. We want to recognize the presence of NTC Commissioner Gamaliel Cordoba via Zoom, and in the plenary, Deputy Commissioner Edgardo Cabarrios and Engineer Alvin Blanco. From DOJ, we have ASEC Nicholas T. and State Counsel Charles Romulus Cambaliza. From FITTAP, we have Mrs. Estrelita Neng Juliano Tamano and Attorney Stanley Cabrera. From PCTA, we have Mr. Ralph D. Casino and Mr. Jose Luis Dabao. We also have via Zoom former Senator Juan Ponce Enrile and Attorney Belsi C. from the Arbitration Board. From ABS-CBN, we have Mr. Martin Lopez, Chairman, Mr. Carlo Katigbak, President and CEO, Ms. Socorro Bidanes, COO for Broadcast, Mr. Raymond Miranda, Chief Strategy Officer, Attorney Enrique Quiazon, Corporate Secretary, Attorney Cherry Cruz, and Attorney Cesar Poblador. Via Zoom, we have Attorney Augusto Almeida Lopez, Attorney Aresio Rendor, Attorney Mario Ayo Bautista, and Ms. Consuelo Lopez.
Maraming salamat, Comsec. Nais ko pong ipaabot sa lahat ang aming pasasalamat kasama po ni Chairman Chikoy sa mga members at resource persons po na umattend nung nakaraang hearing at umattend po at uma-attend ngayong hearing na ito. Sa lahat po ng mga members na nagdaos ng mahaba ngunit makabuluhang hearing nung nakaraang Lunes, maraming salamat po muli. At ngayon po kasama ang mga miyembro ng Blue Ribbon Committee o ng Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, ang atin pong mga resource person na nasa plenaryo at nasa Zoom ay pagpapatuloy sa ating pagpapatanungan ngayong hapon. At tayo nga rin po pala ay napapanood sa live stream sa Facebook ng ating Facebook page ng House of Representatives, gayon din po Facebook page ng inyong Kuya Jonathan C. Alvarado.
Atin pong ipagpapatuloy ngayong hapon ang pagtatalakay at pagtatanong sa paksa pa rin po ng pag-transfer ng ABS-CBN sa Lopez family matapos ang EDSA Revolution na naayon sa konstitusyon. Pangalawa, kung ang aplikasyon ba ng ABS-CBN sa prangkisa ay lumalabag sa 50-year limit sa term ng franchise ayon sa konstitusyon. At pangatlo, kung may paglabag ba sa dating prangkisa ng ABS-CBN paggamit ng multiple channels sa iisang prangkisa na walang permit galing sa NTC. Marami pong mga tanong ang inaasahan nating masasagot ngayong hapon. Lalo't higit na kasama po natin ang ilang resource persons sa may kaalaman po sa mga isyu ng aking nabanggit. Muli, susundin po natin ang sequence ng paglalahad ng ABS-CBN, susundan po ng oppositor kung meron po. Kung wala naman po, ay didiretso na po tayo sa interpellation ng members.
Maraming salamat, Chairman Chikoy. Layunin ng komiting ito na mabigyan ng lahat ng kalahok ng pantay-pantay na pagkakataon na mailabas ang katotohanan. Kaya atin pong balikan ang paksa sa paglipat ng ABS-CBN sa Lopez family matapos ang EDSA Revolution, bunsod ng katanungang hindi nasagot ng ABS-CBN noong Lunes. Napagkasunduan po na isusulat ng Secretariat ang mga tanong na hindi po nasagot ng ABS-CBN at ibibigay naman po ng chairman ang katanungan nito sa ABS-CBN. Ngunit atin pong pinagbigyan ang pakiusap ni Honorable PD Barsaga na siya ay unang makapagtanong kay Attorney Augusto Jake Almeda Lopez. Atin pong napagkaalaman na ninais ni Attorney Jake Lopez na pumunta dito sa ating kapulungan upang maka-attend sa ating pagdinig ngayong hapon. Subalit tayo po ay hindi pumayag at minarapat po ng Joint Committee na sa Zoom na lamang makadalo si Attorney Jake Almeda dahil po siya ay 95 years old na. Medyo lumagpas na po sa pagiging senior, super senior na si Attorney Jake. Kaya po ipinapakiusap po natin sa ating mga membro na magtatanong na siya po ay bigyan ng respeto at kung maaari ay iklian lamang ang mga katanungan. Atin pong pinagbibigay alam rin naman sa ating mga members na hindi natin diretsahang matatanong kaagad si Attorney Jake dahil kinakailangan niya ng tulong sa kanyang assistant upang ipaliwanag sa kanya o iparinig ng mas malakas yung katanungan dahil nga po sa kanyang edad. Hinihingi ko po ang pangunawa ng ating mga kasapi sa sitwasyong ito. Nais rin po namin iparating kay Attorney Almeda na kung mahihirapan po kayo, agad po kayong magpagbigay alam sa komiting ito ang inyong kalagayan upang makagawa po kami ng kaukulang hakbang para po sa inyo. Nagpapasalamat din po kami sa pagpapaunlak ng ating Senator Juan Ponce Enrile na dumalo sa ating pagdinig via Zoom. Nawa po ay mabigyan ninyo ng linaw ang mga issue na tinatalakay po natin sa panahong ito. Muli po ang pagpapaalala na iwasan po natin ang pagulit-ulit ng mga usapin na tinalakay na at sundin po natin ang takdang oras ng pagtatanong na ibinigay po sa atin ng Joint Committee Chairman ng mga committee ito. Muli, maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Co-Chair Jonathan. Ngayon po, dadako na po tayo sa pagsisimula ng interpellation. Atin pong tinatawag muli si Congressman PD Barzaga na kung saan binigyan ng additional na oras ni Congressman Bambol Tolentino at ni Congressman Advin Cola para po sa total na 15 minutes po. Congressman Barzaga.
Maraming salamat sa ating mga chairman, mga chairmen, sa ating mga kasama dito sa Kongreso, sa mga kinatawan ng ABS-CBN, at higit sa lahat kay Attorney Jake Lopez Almeda. Unang-una, humingi ako ng paumanhin kay Attorney Jake Lopez Almeda sapagkat kinakailangan kong magtanong at ang pagbabasihan ko naman sa pagtatanong ay yung kanyang sinumpang salaysay na kanyang isinagawa noong 8 ng Agosto, 1994 na nagsilbi na kanyang direct testimony doon sa arbitration proceedings. Magandang hapon po, Kompanyero Almeda Lopez Almeda.
Congressman Barsaga, bago po payagan ng chairman ng committee ito na sumagot si Attorney Jake Almeda Lopez, ay payagan po muna natin na sila'y makapanumpa. Isasabay na po natin ang panunumpa ni Senator Juan Ponce Enrile kasama na po ng ating mga new guest ngayong araw na ito. The committee secretary is directed to execute the oath of our distinguished guest before this body.
May I invite the personalities mentioned by Chairperson Jonathan C. Alvarado to please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth before this joint congressional inquiry, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Congressman Barsaga, you may continue.
Ang una ko pong katanungan ay yung napapaloob sa pahina 8, ika-25 talata ng sinumpaang salaysay ni Attorney Jake Lopez Almeida. Nakalagay po rito sa paragraph 25, in July 1986, the Office of the President officially cleared ABS requests to resume its broadcast operations, which was interrupted by martial law and hence was issued by a provisional authority by the National Telecommunications Commission to operate television channel 2 and radio station DCMM, open parenthesis AM, close parenthesis, and DWRRR, open parenthesis, FM, close parenthesis. Sa talata pong ito na nasa saad sa paragraph 25, ay binigyan ng clearance ng ating Pangulong President Cory Aquino ang request ng ABS-CBN o ng Lopez family para ipagpatuloy ang kanilang broadcast operations. Ang tanong ko po, yung bang clearance na binigay ni Ginang Cory Aquino ay oral or in writing?
Maraming salamat po sa pagkakataon na marinig ang panig ng ABS-CBN. No? Alam nyo, umpisahan ko na po ito, na ang ABS-CBN nag-ooperate ng radio television since 1953. In 1972, nag-declare ng martial law, sinara ng aming stasyon, at for 14 years, pinalakad ng mga Marcos. Yung nagkaroon ng EDSA Revolution, hindi naman sa ng sarili kong bangko. Alam nyo, kinuha sa amin ng Marcos ang ABS-CBN. Sasabihin ko sa inyo na hindi sinoli sa amin. Kinuha namin, binalik namin sa sarili namin. Ikikwento ko sa inyo, yung araw na nagkakaroon ng putukan doon sa Bohol Avenue na pinadala ng forces ng Ponce Enrile Ramos para kunin yung istasyon. Nandun po kami, mga ABS people, si Jimmy Navarro, si Princesito Pascual Castillo at ako. Sabay kami pumasok sa loob ng ABS-CBN. Kasi yung panahon na yun, nagkakaroon ng putukan, sinara nag-shut out yung operations ng television. Nagtago lahat-lahat ng mga tao. Kaya madilim na madilim yan. Napilitan kami lumusog. Tapos nagsisigaw kami roon. Lumabas kayo mga kasama namin. Paandarin natin itong stasyon. Sa madaling salita, lumabas sila. Within 1 hour, paandar namin yung television. Kaya sinasabi ko, hindi sinoli sa amin ng Marcos ang stasyon. Nakuha namin sa aming sariling sikat. Kasama, of course, yung forces ni Enrile at ni Ramos. Pero ako hindi ko naiisip yung mga consequences ng pag-ooperate namin because we went on the air right away. In about 1 hour, 2 hours. Nakwento sa amin ng mga journalist doon na sa Malacanang na yung bumalik ang TV4 at iba na ang humahawak, ang rebelde na humahawak, talagang na-discourage na talaga yung mga Marcos Party. Ako hindi pumapasok sa aking ulo yung mga legal technicalities. Pero meron akong kasamahan, si Attorney Quezon, Serafin Quezon. Siya mismo ang nagsasabi, "Uy, kailangan ma-clear natin ito." Kaya gumawa siya ng kasulatan na sinasabi niya, ang Lopez family nakuha ulit itong ABS-CBN. Pero pumapayag kaming gamitin ng forces ni Cory Aquino at ni Ponce Enrile. During the crisis period, ganyan po nangyari niyan. Tapos ang nangyari niyan pati, biglang dumating si Joker Arroyo para sabihin sa akin, yan, stasyon na yan, huwag mo pa bigay sa kanino yan. Sabi ko ba, hindi naman pwede yan. Sabi ko, bigyan mo kami ng authority. Alam nyo, ang nangyari niyan, binigyan ako ng officer in charge of the station. Maybe I was the first officer in charge appointed by the Cory government. So pinaandar namin yan. Pero sinasabi ni Justice Quezon, yan pinahiram lang namin yan sa gobyerno. Yung gabi dumating yung representative ng Ponce Enrile Ramos, si Colonel Ermita, para sabihin sa akin na inutusan siyang kunin na yung stasyon at palalakarin na sa kanilang, para sa sila na magpapalakad. Sabi ko kay Colonel Ermita, paano ito? Meron akong kasulatan dito na ito kay Cory. Alam mo yung panahon yun, hindi naman lumalabas sa publiko yan. Pero nagkakaroon ng konting rivalry yung Marcos, yung Cory government at yung pumapasok na Ramos Enrile government. Ayaw ko namang gumitna na doon. Kaya sabi ko kay Colonel Ermita, bigyan mo lang ako ng papel at ibibigay ko sa iyo. Hindi na bumalik ang Colonel Ermita. Buhay pa si Colonel Ermita. Siguro kung naaalala niya yan, may kikwento niya yan. Ganun po ang pangyayari niyan. Hindi po sinoli sa amin ng Cory government ang stasyon. Kami ang nagpahiram sa Cory government.
Nakalagay din po sa inyong affidavit sa paragraph 27 at babasahin ko po. The Office of the President suggested that for the sake of complete transparency, the question be submitted to an arbitration committee where ABS could present its torrents titles to all the properties being claimed and also proof of ownership over the broadcast equipment which were then in the premises of the Bohol Broadcast Center in Quezon City and our radio and television stations in the province. Malacanang wanted the process, public and formal, with the proceedings properly recorded. Sa madaling sabi po, base sa paragraph na ito, ang gusto ng pamahalaang Cory Aquino ay maging transparent at public ang maging proceedings para sa pagsasaoli ng ABS-CBN facilities sa Lopez family. Tama po ba ang impresyon na nakuha ko base dito sa paragraph 27 ng inyong sinumpaang salaysay?
Tama po yan.
Marami pong salamat. Kaya ang sumunod na pangyayari sapagkat ang gusto ng pamahalang Cory Aquino ay maging transparent ang usapan noong ika-6 ng Enero 1987 ayon sa inyong talata numero 28 na nasa pahina 10, nagpirmahan ang ABS-CBN pati na ang Cory government ng arbitration agreement na ang kinatawan ng ating pamahalaan at the time ay si Attorney Catalino Macaraig Jr. at ang sa ABS naman ay si Pastor Del Rosario at ang chairperson, ang ating chairman at the time ay walang iba kundi ang dating maestrado ng Korte Suprema na si Justice Vicente Abad Santos. Tama po ba yon?
Tama po.
Okay. Pagkatapos nagkaroon ng konting problema, hindi natapos ang unang arbitration proceedings sapagkat kinwestiyon ni Constitutional Convention Delegate Gascon yung pagkakatayo ng Arbitration Committee. Pero ang sabi ng Supreme Court, sapagkat meron tayong Freedom Constitution, may karapatan ang ating Pangulo si Cory Aquino na magawa ng Arbitration Committee. Sumasang-ayon po ba kayo doon?
Opo.
Okay. Pagkatapos, nakalagay din doon sa arbitration agreement. At babasahin ko po. Whereas ABS-CBN has filed a request with the Office of the President on April 18, 1986 and reiterated in a letter dated October 18, 1986. At yung pong susunod na paragraph, ito po ang nakasaad. For the return of all its television and radio stations together with the operating equipment and frequencies which were closed down upon the declaration of martial law and sequestered by former President Ferdinand E. Marcos on September 21, 1972. Dito po sa agreement to arbitrate nakasaad na ang pag-uusapan ay yung pagsasauli ng television at lahat ng equipment ng ABS-CBN na sinara noong idineklara ang batas militar. Tama po ba ang pagkakaintindi ko dito sa paragraph A?
Tama po.
Okay. At ang naging resulta, ang final result ng arbitration agreement ay yung sinasabi nating compromise agreement na isinagawa ni Ginoong Chopisto Gingona Jr. bilang kinatawan ng Republika ng Pilipinas at ang kinatawan naman ay yung ng ABS-CBN ay walang iba kundi kayo, Attorney Augusto Almeida Lopez. Tama ho?
Tama po yan.
Tama. At binabasa namin yung compromise agreement. At doon sa compromise agreement, nakalagay na ang pamahalang ni Ginang Cory Aquino ay magbabayad sa ABS-CBN ng 97,500,000 although ang sinasabing pagbabayad ay non-monetary items. Walang perang ibibigay ang pamahalaan ng Republika ng Pilipinas sa halip. Meron tayong mga set-off sa mga taxes ng ABS-CBN, pati na sa rentals, at yung natitira ay to be applied to future taxes. Tama po ba?
Tama po.
At base sa una kong pagtatanong, kaya tayo nagkaroon ng arbitration agreement ay para pag-usapan ang pagsasaoli ng television and radio stations together with the operating equipment and frequencies which were closed down upon the declaration of martial law and sequestered by former President Ferdinand E. Marcos on September 21, 1972. Ito po ang kauna-unahan or the first whereas clause ng agreement to arbitrate. Pero doon sa compromise agreement na naging bunga o resulta ng arbitration, ng agreement to arbitrate, walang na-mention tungkol sa pagsasaoli ng mga pag-aari ng ABS-CBN. Sumasang-ayon po ba kayo?
Opo.
Okay. Pagkatapos, akin din pong tiningnan na yung 97,500,000 pesos ay yun ang pagbabayad sa ABS-CBN ng pamahalaan ng Republika ng Pilipinas sa paggamit ng kanilang facilities mula noong March 1, 1986 up to November 6, 1992. Yun po ang rental sa mga equipment ng ABS-CBN na ginamit ng pamahalaang Presidente Cory Aquino mula noong March 1, 1986 hanggang November 6, 1992. Tama po ba?
Tama po.
Pero sa mga dokumentong nakita namin, wala namang sinasad kung ano ang mga specific equipment na binayad ng ating pamahalaan, na ginamit ng ating pamahalaan mula noong March 1, 1986 up to March 6, 1992. Totoo po na walang nakasad ng mga equipment.
Malamang na tama po yung sinasabi nyo.
Okay. Pagkatapos, mula po noong March 1, 1986 hanggang November 6, 1982 ay umabot ng 6 na taon at 8 buwan. Sa madaling sabi, 72 months para sa 6 na taon at 8 buwan mula Marso hanggang Nobyembre. Kung ibinayad po ng ating pamahalaan ay 97,500,000 ang lumalabas po ang renta na binayaran ng ating pamahalaan sa ABS-CBN ay 1,218,750 pesos kada isang buwan. Yun lang po ang naksad. I will not discuss whether this is proper, the amount, whether it is high. It depends upon the circumstances, and perhaps the committee will be the one to decide if that amount would be reasonable during that period. Hindi ko po sinasabi na hindi reasonable ito. At dito na po natatapos ang pagtatanong ko sa inyo unless meron po kayong idagdag. At kung wala na po, taos pusong pasasalamat mula sa kinatawan ng lungsod ng Dasmariñas.
Sige. Pwede mo bang explain to sa inyo ang background nito?
Kaya nga po nandito tayo, due process, para naman ang marinig namin at ng ating sambayanan ang nais niyong iparinig sa ating mga kababayan.
Okay. Alam niyo po, yung inagaw na nga ng Marcos, yung broadcast center, nagkaroon ng maraming samahan na oppositionists sa Marcos. One of them was the Lopez Group, made up of Raul Manlapos, Sinakis, marami, lahat-lahat yan, napakarami yan. Marami yan sa Maynila at sa United States. Yung bumalik na yung nakuha na ng Ramos and really yung gobyerno. E paano na may sosoli sa amin yung broadcast center na walang usapan na klaro? Sasabihin nila, niluto nyo yan. Kaya sabi ng, alam niyo po, si Joker Arroyo, abogado ko, nung yung nakakulong ako, mahigit na 2 taon. Siya ang abogado ko. At siya parang yung kausap namin sa Malacanang. Sinasabi ka ni Joker, paano ito? Magkaibigan tayo. Hindi naman pwede ba sa isusoli namin sa inyo yan? Tama ka, kako. Alam mo yung mga kasamahan ni Joker Arroyo sinasabi, pakita nyo sa amin ng resibo ng inyong mga career yan. Sabi ko kay Joker, paano naman yan? Mahigit na 20 years old na yan mga equipment na yan. Paano? Wala na kaming resibo niyan. Sabi ko sa kanya, sabihin mo sa kay Kaiko Lukwanan, bigyan niya ako ng resibo na kanyang sapatos. At isusoli namin sa kanila yung ABS-CBN. Parang mga impossible conditions. Kaya sabi ni Joker, okay, let us set this up for arbitration. Para maliwanag na maliwanag, publiko ito, walang magkasama tayo, huwag tayo magsasariling magnegosasyon. Kaya ganun ang nangyayari niyan. We had 2 basic claims. One is the return of all of our properties. That is the broadcast center and all of the provincial stations. Marami ho kaming stasyon. The second was, let us liquidate the amounts that the proper amount that the government should more or less recognize as acknowledge the payment of some amounts. Ang sinasabi niyo, Mr. Barsaga, that comes out to 1,200,000 a month. Alam niyo ho, ang kasama dyan, siguro mga, hindi ko na mabilang talaga, mga 20 radio stations sa probinsya. Siguro mga 5-6 na television stations sa probinsya. At sa Maynila, yung buong broadcast center. Yung 1,200,000, that is just a token amount. Kaya bukod pa doon sa hindi na maliit yung sinulat namin, pumayag na lang kami. Kung anong gusto nyo, papayag na lang kami. Pero walang cash, hindi sila magbabayad. Sabi namin, okay, alam naman namin na wala ibabayad ang Cory government, bagong pasok lang. Kaya ganyan ang background niyan, Mr. Barsaga. Hindi kami if we went into arbitration, it was because the desire of both parties, of the Malacanang group and the Lopez group, that let us present this to a neutral body and let them be the ones to tell us what to do, how to resolve this problem. Ganun ang pangyayari.
Maraming salamat po, Attorney Jake Almeida Lopez. Attorney Jake Lopez Almeida. Baligtad ba? Nagkamali ata ako. It should be Attorney Augusto Lopez Almeida. Maraming salamat po. Because
Salamat din po.
it is still a very retentive memory.
Kaya siguro, Mr. Barsaga, mabanggit natin sa mga nanonood. Ako po ay sakop nyo. Ako po ay nagpa-farm sa Dasmariñas, Cavite. Kaya I am under your constituency.
At siguro, Attorney Jake, inyong natatandaan nang ako ay mabigyan ng pagkakataon para maging punong bayan ng Dasmariñas, nagpatayo po ako ng isang pedestrian overpass doon sa mayroong Villa Verde subdivision at nakiusap ako sa inyo na yung landing area o hagdan ng aming pedestrian overpass ay babaksak sa inyong pag-aaring lupa. Maraming salamat po.
Salamat din po.
Okay?
Maraming
Meron lang po
salamat.
ako, thank you na. Meron lang akong paglilinaw mula sa NTC.
Sige
At
po.
PCGG along this point. Very short lamang, Mr. Chairman.
Sige po. Congressman PD Barsaga, nasa inyo po ang floor.
Well, of course, ang pagtatanong ko ay kay Commissioner Cordoba. Commissioner Cordova, please.
Opo, good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, honorable members of the two committees. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
Maraming salamat, Commissioner Cordova. Nagbigay ang National Telecommunications Commission ng mga dokumento dito sa aming committee noong 16 ng Hunyo 2020. At ang unang dokumento ay isang order na pirmado ng dating Commissioner Ruel Canovas, Deputy Commissioner George Sarmiento at Jaime Portes na mayroong petsang June 11, 2008. Pwede po bang pakitingnan sa inyong file yung nasabing dokumento sapagkat ang isusunod kong tanong ay yung nasa saad sa dokumento?
Meron po akong kopya ng dokumento, Your
Kung
Honor.
babanggitin, ay yung pangalawang paragraph o pangalawang talata na nasa unang pahina ng order. Case number 87-006, ABS-CBN Broadcasting Corporation. Nakikita niyo ba yung pahinang yan?
Opo, ito pong first page po ba ito, Your Honor? Tama
Yes,
po.
first page.
Opo, nakikita ko
The
po.
second paragraph, and I read for the record, quotation, open quotation, the Office of the Solicitor General, PTB4,
Yeah.
and the kapisanan ng mga broadcaster sa Pilipinas appeared and opposed this application. Ino-oppose daw ang application ng ABS-CBN on the ground that among others, the assets of the petitioner, yun daw assets ng ABS-CBN, are under sequestration by the PCGG, and its use of the frequencies which is now operating is subject to final determination by the appropriate authority on the ownership of the property, unquote. Ito pong dokumentong to or order ay mayroong petsang June 11, 2008. Base ba sa records ng NTC, noong June 11, 2008, yung assets ng ABS-CBN are still under sequestration by the PCGG. Based on your records. O hindi nyo alam?
Wala po, personally, Your Honor, wala po akong knowledge on that. But what I can do po is kukunin po namin ang opposition na final ng Office of the Solgen, PTB4 at KBP, at ito po ay aming isasubmit sa committee para po mabasa po ng committee.
For that manifestation, pwede bang itanong natin sa PCGG kung totoo na noong 2008 is still under sequestration ang assets ng ABS-CBN? Mr. Chairman?
Sige po, maaari po niyong itanong.
Representative of PCGG, please.
Kasama po natin ngayon si Attorney C. Attorney C. PCGG, si Attorney John Agbayani, kasama rin po natin ngayon. Attorney John Agbayani.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Your Honors, good afternoon.
Pakisagot po yung katanungan po ni Congressman P.D. Barsaga.
Noong 2008 po, yung equipments at mga sequestered asset ng BBC, IBC at saka ng RPN9 hindi na po sila sequestered during that time because noong October 2, 1992, na-approve na po yung compromise agreement between Roberto S. Benedicto and the Presidential Commission on Good Government, vesting ownership of these assets to the government. So noong 1992, effectively lifted na po yung sequestration.
Meron bang sequestration order na na-issue ang Presidential Commission on Good Government laban sa mga pag-aari ng ABS-CBN? Kung inyong matatandaan.
Yung Ministry Order number 3 na in-issue po ni then Minister Juan Ponce Enrile, yun po yung sequestration order but it only covers BBC, RPN, and IBC, including of course their funds and properties. Pero hindi po sinequester ng ABS-CBN. Nangyari lang po coincidentally, nung sinequester po yung BBC, RPN, and IBC, ang mga assets na yan na nasa possession ng Benedicto Group of Companies, naka-lease po yan sa kanila in a lease agreement entered into by ABS-CBN earlier nung pagpasok po ni Attorney Almeda, no, sa ABS-CBN premises, nag-enter po sila ng lease agreement. Kaya po nung sinequester po yung Benedicto Group of Companies, coincidentally, pati po yung mga leased properties na pag-aari ng ABS-CBN na mga equipment, yun po nasama sa sequestration. Pero yung mga real properties ng ABS-CBN, hindi po na-sequester yon dahil wala naman ho sequestration order laban sa ABS-CBN at saka sa mga Lopezes.
Maraming salamat, Commissioner. So, base sa iyong pagkakasabi, mayroong writ of sequestration na na-issue tungkol sa mga properties ng ano-anong kumpanya.
BBC, yung Banahaw Broadcasting Company, RPN 9, at saka IBC 13.
Broadcasting Company.
Mga broadcast, ito yung mga TV stations ni Benedicto.
Sige, pakikumpleto. Yung RPN 9 na ginagamit at nagte-telecast noong panahon ng batas militar, yung ba ay kasama sa sequestration?
Kasama po yun sa sequestration noong 1986.
Matatandaan mo ba? O base sa inyong record, kailan in-issue ang sequestration order?
March 1, 1986.
March 1, 1986.
Ministry Order number A-003. By Minister
Ang number, Panyero?
A-003.
Okay. So sa madaling sabi, mabibigyan mo kami ng kopya ng sequestration order na in-issue noong March 18,
March 1 po.
March 1, 1986.
86.
Okay. At syempre ngayon, wala nang sequestration order.
Wala na po.
Wala. Kailan nalip yung sequestration order?
Ang sequestration order was lifted from the time that the compromise agreement between Roberto S. Benedicto and the Presidential Commission on Good Government was approved by the Sandigan Bayan on 2 October 1992.
October
2, 1992.
1992.
92. Opo.
Okay. Sapagkat ang trabaho ng PCGG ay mag-issue ng sequestration order, pag merong in-issue na sequestration order, ang PCGG, ano ang epekto doon sa pag-ari o property na sinequester?
Ang effect po ng sequestration order ay parang writ of attachment. Parang writ of attachment.
Okay, parang writ of
It is,
attachment.
opo, it is preservatory and conservatory in nature. And it is temporary and in nature until the main case of sequestration
Okay.
is finally decided.
So, parang merong writ of attachment.
Opo,
Pag merong writ of sequestration, as a lawyer, at base na rin sa inyong expertise sa sequestration order, legally, sino ang may possession ng property?
the possession is on the PCGG as the conservator of the asset.
Sa madaling sabi, kung PCGG ang mayroong possession at assuming na mayroong kita yung property, to whom will the income of the property belong ng mga sequestered property?
The income derived from the sequestered property is placed in escrow and remitted to the National Treasury.
It will be remitted to the National Treasury.
Yes, yes, sir.
It belongs to the national government
In trust, that is in trust.
in trust.
Yes.
Next question. Ito ang hindi ako sigurado kung ano ang prinsipyo base sa mga doktrina ng PCGG at saka ng kaso na dinecide ng Supreme Court. Mula noong March 1 nagkaroon ang national government, the Cory government, ay nagbayad ng renta sa paggamit ng mga facilities ng RPN 9 mula March 1, 1986 hanggang November 6, 1992. Yun po ang nasa compromise agreement. Actually, yun ang resulta ng arbitration proceeding. Tama po ba?
Wala ho kasi kaming kopya nung compromise
Wala kang
agreement
kopya?
na yan.
Pero alam mo ang provision ng compromise agreement.
Wala ho kaming idea ng compromise
Nakalagay
agreement.
doon sa compromise agreement, magbabayad ang national government ng 97,500,000 sa paggamit ng mga properties ng ABS-CBN katulad ng RPN 9 Banahaw Broadcasting.
Opo. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. At base sa iyong sagot kanina, mula noong March 1, 1986 hanggang noong October 1992, October 1996, merong writ of sequestration.
Hanggang October 1992 po, yung
Okay. Mula
sequestration.
noong March 1, 1986 hanggang October 2,
1992.
92, may writ of sequestration over the properties of Banahaw, RPN 9, IBC 13. Tama
Yes,
po
Your
ba?
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Kung ito ba ay gagamitin ng ating pamahalaan, considering that these are sequestered properties, obligasyon ba ng national government na magbayad ng renta kahit na ito ay under sequestration?
Ganito po nangyari dyan. Noong September 1986, meron pong lease contract ang PCGG through the Board of Administrators with ABS-CBN, wherein this equipment belonging to BBC, RPN, and IBC 13 was leased to ABS-CBN. And there was an agreement na dapat ang magbabayad ng renta sa gobyerno dahil sa paggamit ng equipment na yan ng ABS-CBN from 1987 to 1992, ang magbabayad po dyan ay yung ABS-CBN na sa halagang 1.2 million pesos per month. Pero hindi po natuluyan dahil nagkaroon ng sulat si Eugenio Lopez noong 19 November 1996 kung saan tumatawad po siya doon sa 1.2 million per month na renta niya sa gobyerno dahil hindi niya kaya during that time. And this negotiation on the lease agreement stalled until nagkaroon na ho ng compromise agreement si Benedicto noong 2 October 1992. So sa mga tweet po, wala hong binayad ang ABS-CBN dun sa lease contract na yon. Ngayon, sa tanong ninyo kung dapat bang magbayad ang gobyerno sa Lopezes sa panahon ng March 1, 1986 to October 1992, sa tingin ko po hindi. Dahil dapat ang ABS-CBN po ang magbabayad sa gobyerno ng 1.2 million a month because of the lease contract which they executed in 7 September 1986.
Mr. Chairman,
Tama po ba ang pagkakaintindi
Mr. Chairman,
ko?
i-klaro ko lang po,
Sige po,
Congressman
Vice Chairman Defensor.
Congressman PD, namimix po kasi ano po. Yung pong RPN 9, may utang po sa ABS. 1.2 million, ang total po nun 54 million. Yun po ang nandoon sa arbitration agreement. Ang sinasabi po ni Commissioner Agbayani, yung equipment naman ni BBC na nirenta ni ABS-CBN, 1.2 million, ang sinasabi po ni Commissioner Agbayani, hindi binayaran magmula 1986 hanggang 1992, which totals to about 72 million pesos. So dalawa po yun, ABS, RPN 9, ang may utang po, RPN 9 kay ABS. ABS, BBC, ang may utang po ay ang ABS sa BBC na siya naman pong nasa PCGG ng panahon yun. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Nililinaw lang
Maraming
natin,
salamat
Commissioner.
sa interjection, Vice Chairman Mike Defensor. Muntikan mo na nung masabi yung bayani mo. Sige po, Congressman PD, pakituloy po.
Pakiulit lamang po ang inyong sagot na sa tingin nyo hindi dapat magbayad ang pamahalaan sa ABS-CBN?
Opo,
Tama ba ang pagkakaintindi ko?
kung based po sa record namin, meron hong lease contract noong September 7, 1986 kung saan naka-lease sa ABS-CBN yung equipment ng BBC at merong rental consideration na 1.2 million per month.
Simple lamang po ang tanong ko. Yung bang mga equipment na subject ng lease contract, yung bang equipment na yon ay under sequestration?
Opo,
Okay. Follow-up question. Kung yung mga properties ay under sequestration at ginamit ng national government, base sa inyong batas at doktrina, kinakailangan bang magbayad ang national government sa paggamit ng mga properties under sequestration?
i-qualify ko lang po yan. If the purpose of using the equipment is for the purpose of preserving the asset from deterioration, hindi na po kailangan kasi that is just an incident of its preservative power. Pero kung ang purpose po ng paggamit ng gobyerno dun sa sequestered asset pagnenegosyo at kikita ang gobyerno, well, under the doctrine of fairness, then the excess from the preservatory expenses should be deposited to the National Treasury until the final adjudication of the true ownership of the sequestered asset is determined.
Since the properties are under sequestration, ang talagang government agency involved dyan will be the Presidential Commission on Good Government. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. At base sa inyong mga records, yung bang paggamit ng gobyerno doon sa mga facilities ng RPN9, Banahaw Broadcasting, ay naging profitable o hindi?
Honestly, Your Honor, hindi ko po nakita yung financials niyan. At wala po,
Obligasyon.
at based po sa record namin, wala po kaming pumasok na pera arising out of that sequestered asset. Wala ho kaming collection dyan.
Hingin na lang namin yung lease contract.
Opo.
Okay. Pangalawa, bukod ba sa properties under sequestration na nasa ABS-CBN, napakarami yung sequestered properties. Tama po ba?
Opo. Yes, Your Honor.
Katunayan hanggang ngayon, pagkalipas ng 12,520 araw, hindi pa tapos ang inyong trabaho. Tama po ba?
Hindi pa po. Tama po kayo.
Okay. Bukod ba ron sa rental na binayad ng government sa ABS-CBN, mayroon pa bang sequestered properties na ang national government ay nagbayad sa may-ari ng sequestered properties? As far
Wala.
as you know and based on your records.
Wala po akong natatandaan na kami po nagbabayad.
Okay. Maraming salamat, Commissioner. Thank you very much.
Thank you po.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Congressman Defensor.
yeah, I would like to reserve the right to also ask the Commissioner Agbayani, but Mr. Chair, I understand, well, first we'd like to thank the Attorney Almeda. Maraming salamat po sa inyong presentasyon. Kung gusto po ni Attorney Meldang makinig at pakinggan nyo yung mga sinasabi, maganda rin po siguro dahil siya po talaga may first-hand information sa mga nangyari. Pero nandiyan din po ang ating Senator Enrile, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Maraming salamat, Congressman Defensor. Sa kalaman po ng lahat, kasama natin ngayon si former Senator at former Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile. Siya po ang Minister ng Ministry of National Defense na nag-issue ng order, ng Ministry Order number A, letter A, number 003, ordering the sequestration of RPN9, IBC-13, and BBC-2. At siguro po, marapat lamang na pagsalitain natin si Senator Enrile para po malaman natin na mas malinaw kung ano ba ang sakop ng Ministry Order A003 at kung paano po ba ginawa ang implementasyon ng Ministry Order na ito. Former Senator Enrile, you're now recognized. Magandang tanghali po, Senator.
Magandang tanghali po. Ano
Sana
po
po
bang
ay
gusto
maayos
niyo?
ang inyong kalusugan, ngunit hihingi lang po kami sa inyo ng ilang paglilinaw tungkol po doon sa Ministry Order A003 at kung paano po nagawa ang implementasyon po nito.
Salamat po. Alam po ninyo, noong 1972, September 21, dineklara ni Presidente Marcos. President Marcos declared martial law. And in the planning of martial law, it was the agreement of the government that to prevent bloodshed in the country. And so therefore, when we declared martial law, an order was issued to sequester all television stations, all radio stations, all communication facilities, both domestic and international, in the country. We closed PLDT, both the local operation as well as the international operation. We closed Channel 2, the entire facilities of ABS-CBN, Channel 5, Channel 4, Canlaon Broadcasting Station, Channel 7 of Bob Stewart, Channel 9, Channel 13, Channel 11 of Elizalde, 13 is Soriano, Channel 5 is the channel of the Roses, and all the radio stations throughout the land, in order to control the situation so that there will be no reaction or opposition to the declaration of martial law. And so therefore, the facilities of the entire ABS-CBN complex, broadcast complex, was placed under the control of the government. The title of all of these facilities were never transferred to the government. They remained with the owners. Hindi po tatama yung sinabi ni Jake Almeida Lopez na inagaw ni Presidente Marcos yung ABS-CBN. It was a part of the national policy to immobilize and control the communication system and the outlets for information in the entire nation, and that is what we did. Now, after that, I think it was in 1973, I'm not sure of the exact date and period, ABS-CBN was reopened for purposes of being used by the government to broadcast information throughout the country. And it was placed under the management and control of Canlaon Broadcasting, or the Benedicto group of companies. And it was from then on until 1986, that was the situation. Now, in 1986, to be exact, it was February 26, I think it was, 1986, I, as Secretary of National Defense and sequestrator of ABS-CBN and all the other television, radio, and communication facilities in the country, I issued an order to lift the sequestration of ABS-CBN. And that was the last time that I had any contact or involvement with ABS-CBN.
Maraming salamat po, former Senator Juan Ponce Enrile, at kami po ay natutuwa sapagkat parang bagong-bago pa po sa inyong isipan ang mga nangyari nung panahon po ng martial law hanggang po nung panahong ito. Maraming salamat po, former Senator and Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile.
Incidentally, I would like to tell you that I think it was about the middle of 1973 when Henny Lopez, the father of Gabi, asked a meeting with me, and we met at the coffee shop of Intercontinental Hotel here in Makati. And Henny Lopez said that they wanted the government to take over ABS-CBN and transfer the ownership and control of ABS-CBN because they could not service their loans. That was the situation. Now, but President Marcos rejected the offer. And because of that, it was, as I said, it was placed under the management and control of Bobby Benedicto. And I think Bobby Benedicto provided new equipment for the television organization of the Lopezes. And that was used throughout the period of martial law until I lifted the sequestration in February of 1986.
Tama po ba yung pagkakaintindi po namin na gustong ipasalba ng mga Lopezes nung panahon pong iyon, nung 1973, yung ABS-CBN mula sa pagkakalugi? Tama po ba, Senator Enrile?
Tama yun. At nauna yan na offer ng mga Lopezes sa gobyerno. Ang sumunod na offer nila ay yung tungkol sa Meralco. At yung record noon ay nasa isang report na ginawa ni Chairman Emilio Adelio ng Meralco noon at linagdaan din ni President Senen Gabaldon ng Meralco noon. Yung report na yon at hinihiling ni Don Eugenio Lopez na kunin na ng gobyerno yung Meralco sapagkat hindi nila kayang i-service yung kanilang mga loans noong mga panahon na yon.
Maraming salamat po, Senator Juan Ponce Enrile. Sa madaling salita po, pati yung Meralco ay pinasasalba rin po ng mga Lopez noong panahong iyon?
Yun ang katotohanan. Dahil nahihirapan sila na mabayaran. I think if I remember correctly, ang utang ng Meralco noon na hindi nila nahihirapan sila na bayaran is a little more than 100 million pesos.
Maraming salamat po, Senator Juan Ponce Enrile. Meron pa po bang nais magtanong kay Senator JPE? Yes, Congressman Remulla.
Magandang hapon po, Senator Enrile.
Magandang hapon na Congressman Remulla. Boying, kumusta ka?
Okay naman po. Ito po ang aking katanungan kasi nagkaroon nga ng compromise agreement ang gobyerno at ang ABS-CBN sa korte upang mapawalang halaga na lahat ng mga issue tungkol sa gobyerno at ABS-CBN. Ngunit ang mahalaga po yung kasaysayan na pinag-uusapan, totoo ba ho na malaki ang pagkakautang ng ABS-CBN at ng Meralco bago po dumating ang martial law?
Mukhang ganun nga sapagkat early on or ang negotiation ng mga Lopezes sa gobyerno ay nag-umpisa bago yata magdeklara ang martial law. Dahil nga hindi nila nasa-service yung kanilang mga utang sa mga bangko ng mga panahon na yon. Kung makukuha ninyo yung report ni Don Emilio Adelio at pinirmahan din ni President Senen Gabaldon ng Meralco. Ang may hawak nun ng Meralco nun ay mga Lopezes. Nandun lahat ang istorya at nandun lahat ang mga dokumento na kailangan ninyo mabasa.
Meron hong dumating na balita sa akin, may naghayag po sa akin, na bago ho dumating ang martial law, todo ho ang pagkakautang, sabi nga sa Ingles, highly leveraged na po ang ABS-CBN bago ho dumating ang martial law. Meron ho kayong alam sa bagay na ito?
Siguro makikita ninyo yan sa mga sa record ng ABS-CBN ng Development Bank of the Philippines. At naka-record naman lahat yung mga transaksyon na yan, mga utang na yan. Nasa libro nila yan.
Sa ano ho ba? Sa pagkakaalam nyo ba? Sa settlement ho between the government of the Republic of the Philippines at ng Lopez family, pati ho yung pagkakautang nila ay wala na hong bagay at ito po lahat ay na-condone na ho ng gobyerno. Kasama ba ho ito sa naging usapan?
Hindi ko alam po yung usapan ng Cory government at ng mga Lopezes doon sa mga bagay na yan. Kasi nangyari yata yan noong pagkatapos ng 1986. Umalis ako sa kabinete ni Cory noong November of 1986. So wala na ako doon at nasa kabila na ako ng politika.
So ang best evidence po, kayo po yung isang ginagalang na abogado, ang pinakamagandang ebidensya po rito, yung records po ng DBP para magkaalaman sa mga katanungan ito, Mr. Senator.
The best evidence is always the books of record, financial records of the banks, the corporations, lahat yan. Makikita ninyo ito. Hindi naman mabubura yun eh.
Maraming salamat po, Senator Enrile.
Salamat din po sa inyo.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Yes,
I
Attorney.
just want to make one clarification. No?
Sige po, Senator.
Narinig ko kanina na sinabi ni Jake Almedo Lopez. Kaibigan ko yan eh, sapagkat magkasama kami sa law office ng papa ko nung bago pa lang sila naging abogado. Sinasabi niya na nandun sila sa ABS-CBN. Siguro nga nandun sila, pero ako ang nagpadala ng mga militar doon para isara yung ABS-CBN noon. Pati Channel 9, Channel 13. Kaya kung nandun man sila, salamat. Pero sa totoo lang, kami ang nagpasara noon. Yung grupo ng mga sa rebel soldiers ang nagpasara noon.
Yes, Attorney Katigbak.
Hindi po ako attorney, Mr. Chair.
Mr. President, CEO Katigbak. Sige po.
Attorney Almeida Lopez would like to be recognized po.
Sige po, pakinggan po natin si Attorney Almeida Lopez. You're now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, this is a very happy occasion also because we have been colleagues before of Johnny Ponce Enrile. He was talking about 70 years ago, probably thereabouts. And we have not had the chance to really socialize anymore. Anyway, I would like to respond to some of the questions, not really completely abrogating whatever he's saying. The first one was the declaration of martial law. Assume already that that was valid and legal during the period of crisis, as they mentioned it. But the truth of the matter is that not long after, the Benedicto companies took over ABS-CBN, and the Benedicto companies were called RPN and KBS. They were owned by Marcos. The name of the company of Marcos was FEMI, Far Eastern Management Inc. But everybody knew it was owned by Marcos. They took it. And the truth of the matter is that, tama si Johnny, we were concerned about the obligations. ABS had heavy obligations because it put up the broadcast center. And I'll tell you, we had to go outside of the Philippines because the local banking community were very, very adamant about lending money to broadcast companies because they knew that it was relatively fragile. Anyway, we went to abroad and we obtained loans from First City Bank of New York, then from Crockers Bank, then from Philadelphia Bank, and a slew of other banks. When Marcos declared martial law and they took over, FEMI took over ABS-CBN, the bankers came to request from President Marcos a program of payment for the loans that were obtained by ABS-CBN. Ang sagot ng Marcos wala naman ako utang sa inyo. Bakit ako ang kinokobra nyo? Kung merong nagpautang sa inyo, doon kayo magsumingil. Singilin nyo ang Lopez. Yun ang sagot ng Marcos sa mga abogado. Na-stand ang mga abogado. Kasi sila na may hawak ng ABS. Pero ayaw nila bayaran. Hindi sila nagbayad sa bangko, hindi sila nagbayad sa Lopez. So gano'n ang mga pangyayari niyan. So, it's just a clarification of what John is saying. Now, as far as the debts with the DBP are concerned, let me give you the background of that. This was long time ago. You know, the father of television in this country was Antonio Quirino, the brother of Elpidio Quirino. He set up the company in 1950. No, he bought the company from two Americans, Bolinao Electronics Company. And he was the one who started television. He went abroad, brought home 500 sets, of which only 50 were operational. In the process, well, anyway, let me put it this way. He borrowed money from government institutions. One way or another, he was able to get money from the institute, hoping that Elpidio Quirino would win. Unfortunately for Antonio Quirino, Elpidio Quirino lost to Ramon Magsaysay. So he could not pay the obligations with DBP. And the people who were really concerned were not Antonio Quirino. It were the officials of DBP and the other financial institutions. Because masisisi sila. Bakit yung pinautang yun si Antonio Quirino? By the way, Antonio Quirino's group of companies was called Alto. Alto. Aleli, the name of his wife, and Tony, that's his name, Alto. We still carry that name. ABS-CBN is Alto Broadcasting Corporation. We carry that name because we acknowledge that Mr. Quirino.
Jake, it is Alto Broadcasting Station, ABS.
Yes. Alto Broadcasting System. Alto Broadcasting System. Yan ang pangalan. Inutang niya yung kwarta sa DBP. Worried na worried yung mga opisyal ng DBP. Masisisi sila bakit pinautang yung kapatid ng presidente. Pumunta si Mr. Orosa, the head of DBP. Pumunta kay Chino Roses. Umayaw si Chino Roses. Bakit ako papasok dyan? Napakahirap na trabaho niya. Why will we pioneer there? Pumunta sila kay Elizalde, DCRH, the dominant radio station at the time. Umayaw din ng Elizalde. Pumunta ngayon reluctantly pumunta kay Lopez. I say reluctant because in that elections, the Lopezes went for Magsaysay against the brother of Elpidio Quirino. But Eugenio Lopez was interested because of Henny Lopez. You know, Henny Lopez took his master's in Harvard. He brought his wife there. That is why diyan pinanganak yung Gaby Lopez. While he was there in Boston, he was exposed to television. Alam mo, television hindi kilala din sa Pilipinas yan. In 1950s, hindi kilala yan. For that matter, the whole of Southeast Asia, walang television. If only the only one country that had television was Japan. China did not have it. So anyway, na-expose si Henny dyan sa television. At sinabi niya, sa isip niya, ito bagay na bagay ito para sa Pilipinas. And you know, at that time, it was the feeling that if you were in media, you're in paper, newspaper, you should also be in broadcast. Well, anyway, he came back to the country, Henny Lopez, and in informal talks with his father, he explained that, boy, maganda yan. They applied for a franchise to operate television. But in the meantime, there was this offer from Elpidio Quirino. The truth of the matter, ang gusto ng Orosa, ma-assume lang yung obligation ni Elpidio Quirino. Ang katotohanan nyo na yung kwento mismo ni Antonio Quirino, pumasa na lang ang kwento sa akin. Na yung nag-uusap sila gano'n, sinulat ni Mr. Lopez kung magkano ang babayad niya yung over and above assuming the obligation of
Mr. Chair, may I interrupt, please?
Yes, Congressman Marcoleta.
I don't think we are getting anywhere, Mr. Chair. I don't know the question. And are we interested in narratives or we are more interested on records? I think we already agreed yesterday that the narratives are okay. And for purposes of hearing them, I think we have two distinguished grand old men who would like to revisit the past. It's almost a good hearing time, Mr. Chair, but the records are indispensable because even the sworn statement of Attorney Almeida Lopez is all about arbitration. He started about agreements to arbitrate. 2 documents have been presented. But yesterday, when we were asking for records, I don't think ABS-CBN was so determined and they were so sure to be able to get the records. Mr. Chair, the best evidence are the records. We can hear all these narratives. For example, we talk about the loans in DBP. They're so persistent, about $600 billion in the 70s. And when our peso was devalued, the government pays them because of the sovereign guarantee. But this is another record. Today we are, I think, settling a particular statement sworn before us by Attorney Almeida Lopez. This representation yesterday demanded the submission of the records of the arbitration proceedings ordered and initiated by no less than the Office of the President. This is all recorded in his affidavit. The President was unflinching. She said, for the sake of total transparency, she suggested an arbitration committee where ABS-CBN will be given all the opportunity in this world to present their evidence. She even mentioned about Torrens titles and any proof of evidence for the claim of ABS-CBN, not only in Bohol Avenue, but also those that are cited in the other provinces. And I can almost memorize the statement that Malacanang wanted that the proceeding be made public, formal, and properly recorded. Mr. Chair, I think we gained our right to demand those records. I'd like to have a categorical answer from ABS-CBN, when will the records be submitted? Because there is no substitute for the arbitral award, Mr. Chair. They started with an agreement to arbitrate. I think we have all the reasons to believe that the arbitration was completed.
Mr. Chairman.
That is the only document, Mr. Chair, that we can rely upon in order to see once and for all whether the documents sought by the arbitration committee in presenting all the evidence of ownership were presented properly. The arbitral award will tell us all those proceedings, Mr. Chair. That is why
Yes,
there is no substitute for the best evidence.
Thank you,
The records themselves.
Deputy Speaker Marcoleta. Vice Chairman Defensor, you're now recognized.
Mr. Chairman, kagabi po na tanong po din ni Congressman Marcoleta yung punto pong yun tungkol doon sa ebidensya. Nais ko lang po unang bigyan ng pagsaludo at respeto si Attorney Jake Almeida, Senator Juan Ponce Enrile. Yung po lang kasing pagkikwentuhan nung ating po mga guest ngayong hapon, nagsimula po kasi doon sinabing may utang ang DBP at doon po nagpaliwanag si Attorney Almeida kung ano po yung pinanggalingan ng pagkakautang yun. Una po, nagpapasalamat ulit ako sa dalawa nating guest ngayon at yun nga po binabanggit ng ating Honorable Marcoleta, batay na po doon sa pagkakaayos ng arbitration agreement, ano pong dokumento ang nagsasabi o nagpatunay na ito po'y kanila. Yun po ang hinahanap niya nung kagabi pa ho, nung tayo naghihiling. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, respects and salute to Attorney Almeida and Senator Juan Ponce Enrile. Thank you po.
Thank you.
Maraming
Mr.
salamat, Congressman Mike Defensor. Bago ko po kayo kilalanin, Senator Juan Ponce Enrile, ay ipapasagot ko lang po sa ABS-CBN muna kung kailan po ninyo mabibigay yung mga dokumentong hinahanap ni Congressman Marcoleta, sapagkat kayo po ay binigyan na ng direksyon na isubmit yung mga dokumento na hinahanap sa inyo bago po mag-umpisa ang hearing na ito.
Mr. Chair.
ABS-CBN.
Mr. Chair, before
Yes,
ABS-CBN
Congressman
answer,
Zarate.
point of information, Mr. Chair. Nabanggit ko na rin ito kahapon, and I think yung Secretary ng Board of Arbitration is on Zoom, no? Si Attorney C. No? And probably she's in the best position to also tell these joint committees kung ano ang nangyari sa proceedings na yon at saan na ang records ng proceedings na yon ng Board of Arbitrators.
Hearing suspended.